This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 21, verse 6. For thus have the Lord said unto me, Go, set a watchman, let him declare what he seeth. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Isaiah, chapter 21, verse 6, is that the JJs, the 1948ers, the small hats, all right, they're opening their shelters, okay, for their citizens. So this confirms that the next wave of attacks on Iran is imminent, okay? You also have, from the times of Israel, the JJs and 1948ers, the small hats, which are Edomites, okay, more specifically, the tribe of Amalek, and the U.S., which are also Edomites, okay, and the Edomites are the so-called white people, okay, are preparing for potential short campaign, which we know this is a farce, all right. This war just started, okay? We're in the beginning of World War III, okay? To pressure Iran in talks amid truce tensions, right? And this is, what's it called? What they're telling their citizens. Iran has already laid out what they want, okay? And they're not budging. Iran holds the cards, all right? And Trump knows this. This is why Trump had to pause this next operation, Project Freedom, operation. He had to put a pause on it, okay? Because Iran was tagging up the U.S. naval ships, okay? And then you have, CENTCOM saying, yeah, they didn't hit us, but we hit them. We took out 6 small Iranian boats. I thought the Iranian Navy was destroyed, according to Donald Trump. Every week he said the Iran's Navy is destroyed. Iran's missile systems is destroyed. Trump kept saying, okay, over and over again that, okay, America won the war. Really? Okay. Then why are you attacking small naval boats? And it just goes to show you that America is straight up in propaganda mode, and there's nothing new because this is what these Edomites do. They lie, all right. They tell half truths, okay. In fact, which this also confirms that this is Rome 2.0 because the Romans, they did the same thing. They were telling their citizens that they were winning all these wars, even though they were losing. In fact, what is that term that they? And that's why you can't trust this devil. Okay, let me see something here. Let me see if this comes up, because this reminded me of the term, the Roman term. Is it acta? Acta did in Rome, right? Acta did in Rome. Yep, acta Deodora, Latin for daily acts or daily records, were daily official notices in ancient Rome, essentially serving as the world's first newspaper. Instituted by Julius Caesar in 59 BC, these records were carved on a stone or metal and displayed in forum and other public areas to inform citizens about government proceeding, trials, and social events until at least AD 2022, right? Okay? And they use this as a tool to communicate to the citizens and tell them all types of BS. All right, so that's how you know this is Rome, all right, 2.0. In fact, let me exit this. Was this Rome's first state? Let me do it this way. First state propaganda? Yeah, the Acta Dura was significant advancement in centralized state communication, but it was not Rome's first form of propaganda. Okay, so they had previous ones. While it was the first daily state controlled information system, Rome had used other methods to shape public perception for centuries. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, here it is. This is what I wanted to bring out. Um, Triumphal processions. Massive military parades served as choreographed performance designed to reinforce the legitimacy of the ruling class. No, that's not what I wanted. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Hold on. Bear me one moment. I'm just going off the cuffs here. All right. What is this? For military campaigns. No, the Acta Diurna was not Rome's first state propaganda for military campaigns. While it was the first to use a daily news format to institutionalize military dispatches, the Roman state had been using other powerful tools to promote military success for centuries. Well, look at this. Long before the Acta Diurna, Roman leaders used visual and performing media to justify and celebrate war. Isn't that what's going? Hey, this is spiritual, okay? This is spiritual, okay? Because hold up, let me show you something here. What General Dan Kane, okay? War updates, right? Let me show you something here. Let me go to images. Let's go to map. Yep, here he is. Look at this. Look at this. This is how you know this is Rome all over again. Okay? Because he literally goes and shows you these maps. Look, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing great things. So this is how you know this is Rome all over again, all right? Okay? America pushes the image of the beast, the Roman ways, man. Hey, the lesson within lessons. Check that out. Here it is. Why the Acta Diurna was different. The Acta Diurna was unique because it brought frontline dispatches directly into the same official space as civil records like birth and marriages. This gave military propaganda a new level of institutional legitimacy, making Caesar's military reports from Gaul appear as objective, daily facts rather than just one-time celebrations. Right. So that's what Acta Diurna was. Right, because I was looking into this the other day, and just seeing the comparison and contrast, compare and contrast America to Rome. All right, and really there's a lot of comparisons. And what I came across was the Acta Diurna, where this form of information, propaganda, was on a daily basis. They were able to bring this to the public daily, okay? Right, so that the citizens would believe that Rome is winning particular wars, even though they were getting sometimes they were getting their ass handed to them. Okay. Yep. Smear campaigns. Yep. Public moments, statues, and victory moments were used to project the leader's military prowess and divine favor. Um, well, yeah, if you look at DC, okay, not a statue, but um, Trump banners in DC images. You see this all throughout DC. Okay, Trump's banner. Like, this is Nero. Okay, you see that? Okay, this, look at that. This is all over DC. Trump has his banners all over DC. You see that? Okay, yeah. Oh no, this is a meme. But yeah, like this one right here. DC banners of Trump on federal buildings, taxpayer dollars. Yup. Okay. Wow, lessons within lessons. Look at that. But hey, this is Rome all over again. This is how you know when you read, you know what? Let's read Revelation 13. Get some scriptures. This was, hey, this was edifying, you know? Lord willing, this was edifying. It's edifying me, okay? Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, right? That another beast talks about America, Babylon the Great, okay? And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, right? Two horns represents the two political party systems. Let's go back to Rome, right? The patricians and the plebeians, all right? And today you have your Democrats and your Republicans, right? And he spake as a dragon, right? All these draconian laws, all these harsh, what's it called? Law enforcement, you know, look at ICE, for example, okay? Just tagging people up, wetting people up, you know. 12. But here's the point. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, right? It's talking about Rome. And caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, right? Again, the deadly wound is talking about ancient Rome, all right? So, yeah. Okay, so all this propaganda, all this, Trump banners, okay? Okay, this all goes back to Rome, all right? Which just confirms that this is Rome all over again, all right? But yeah, back to the propaganda. This is straight up what the Romans used to do to tell their citizens, you know, to deceive their citizens and, you know, saying, oh, yeah, we're winning the war. You know, they show maps. They show, you know, they bring out all this data like, you know, oh, we took out, you know, a whole bunch of military bases and a whole bunch of drone factories and all that. Just straight up propaganda, okay? So there's nothing new under the sun. So yeah. So there you go. So we're in these times. So yeah, and you could thank these JJs, all right, for the reasoning why the war is not going away, all right, and this is why the war is going to continue on. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them, right? And the JJs, the 1940s, the small hats are dragging, all right, are drawing out, or dragging you Americans into this conflict, and that's why you can't leave, okay? All right, and they got your politicians and your generals, you know, your military officers blackmailed with that whole Epstein, all right? Because guarantee guarantee there were military personnel on that island. Okay, on that island. You go to the word draw out, it's to drag. You see, okay, and then you remember the accusations, right? Remember these accusations, all right? JJ's didn't drag the U.S. into war. Saying that the JJ's dragged the U.S. to war isn't just wrong, right? So yeah, JJ Prime Minister denies dragging U.S. into war. So it's all, if you look at it spiritually, all right, the prophecies are speaking, man. Okay, only believe, only believe. Um, so I want to bring this out right here. Luke chapter 21, verse 29. All right, because these are major signs. All right, these prophecies are major signs that the Lord, all right, is about to make his return. Okay, um, and this confirms that we're the final generation. Luke chapter 21, verse 29. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees. 30. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of yourselves, of your own selves, right? All right. So if you call yourself a man of the Lord, all right, you should know what time you're living in, man. Of your own self, that summer is nigh at hand, right? Okay. Hey, it's happening, man. Everything is budding, all right, pertaining to prophecy. 31. So likewise, ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. And that's very important. You know, what we're seeing here is confirmation that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. We're almost out of here. Okay? We need this war to continue to get bigger and more graphic, okay? And it's happening. The Lord is making it happen. Okay? You also got the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. It's being talked about more and more. Okay. All right. People are bringing it out on their news media. Okay. So that's a sign that we're almost out of here. So let's go back to Luke 32. Verily I say unto you, meaning truly, this generation shall not pass till all be fulfilled. Right. World War III, okay, has to come to pass. All right. We're the generation to see it. The mark of the beast, the RFID chip, has to come to pass. Okay. The nuclear missiles have to come to pass. Okay. We're gonna see it in our generation. Okay. In fact, I just said nuclear missiles, right? Did y'all hear about Turkey? Turkey, right? What did Turkey just reveal today? Turkey. Wait, right? Turk. Did I spell their stupid name? Turkey. ICBM. Ballistic missile. Well, look at here. Turkey unveiled its first intercontinental ballistic missiles named whatever the fuck that is. Sahat Expo 2020 says featuring a 6,000 kilometer, 3,728 miles. Whoa. Wait a minute. Can this ICBM hit the United States? Hold on. Let me see something. Let me just see something here. All right. How far is Turkey from we'll say Florida. I see Florida right here. 5,000 to 6,000. Okay. All right. But hey, this is what they're revealing. Guarantee, all right, that they're not telling the world that this thing can go even farther. But the point is, look at Turkey has a nuclear missile that they just revealed. Okay? All right? And they did this really to show them JJs of 1948ers fuck around and find out. Okay, and Turkey are Edomites too. Okay, Turkey are Edomites, by the way. All right, these are Edomites because first of all, the clue is they're part of NATO. All right. Also, again, this is what they're revealing. Guaranteed, these ICBMs can go a lot farther. That can hit America, and that will fulfill the prophecy of the beast shall hate the whore. So hey, it's all happening, man. It's all happening. But the point is, we're the final generation. All this has to happen. 33. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. Right, meaning being so soaked up in this life, okay, that you're not paying attention to the signs, to the prophecies, and you're not doing what the Lord has required you to do, meaning repent, seek Him 10 times more. Okay, if the Spirit is on you to prophesy, you should be teaching the words on the highways and byways. NOT, watch out. Don't let your hearts be dulled by carousing and drunkenness and by the worries of this life. Don't let that day catch you unaware. Yup. That's why you're supposed to live a simple life, you know. You got Jake out there that are all over the place, man. But be on guard so that your hearts are not weighed down and depressed with the giddiness of debauchery and the nausea of self-indulgence and the worldly worries of life. And then that day when the Messiah returns will not come on you suddenly like a trap. Right, because you're supposed to be preparing your mind, your spirit, okay, for the day of the Lord. 35. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Yeah, man. Amen. The Lord is going to catch these jokers that dwell on earth, okay, in a huge, all right, surprise. Okay. 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Right. Your objective, all right, your mission is to be delivered from this coming destruction. Okay. And that's why you have to be paying attention to what's going on. So you're measuring the times. So yeah, so Lord willing is just edifying, you know. I know I veered off a little bit, got some historical points from Rome, all right, just to show you about the America's propaganda, all right. They get it off of Rome. That's how you know this is Rome 2.0, all right. But yeah, this war is about to continue. Get ready for a draft. Get ready to see mass casualties, all right? Because, hey, we're in a time of prophecies being fulfilled, all right? We're the final generation. And with that, I want to give all praises. Oh, 1044. Ka halayim Yahal Bashim Yahal Shai Bashim Makakodash Barak Atah. So with that, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Makakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth to sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. For the futures that are watching, keep studying. And when you pray, pray your head cover. Shalom.